Today, we're going to take a look at data stores. Data stores are a component of automation projects that allow you to persistently store data. You can also link data stores directly to an app. This allows you to read and write data to a data store from your app without requiring any automation workflows. You can think of a data store as a versatile database, because not only can you store tables inside a data store, but you can also store files, passwords, credentials, normal text, and many other types. Let's start by having a look at how you create a data store. First, you want to click the Add Data Store button. This will show a prompt where we can give it a name and a description. We'll call this our second data store. Once we've created our data store, you'll notice that there's nothing in it by default, and it's prompting us to add an item. If we click on here, we can see there are several types that we can add manually directly to our data store. These can be anything from a file to a password to one of the many types of variables that are supported in the platform. If we click on variable as an example, you can see this brings up what looks very much like the set variable action in the activity designer. We're prompted to give the variable a name, which is how we reference it, the type, which signifies what type it is, and then finally the value itself. Let's start by adding a basic text variable. We shall call this URL, and we'll paste a web link inside the value. We hit add, and we can immediately see that that URL has been added to our data store, and we have a preview of it on the right hand panel. We can also edit this value once we've created it or delete it. It's not just basic text that a data store supports. If we have a look at our first data store, we can see that there's a file inside there. This particular file is a CSV. CSVs are really useful in data stores because once uploaded there, you can actually convert them to a table type that the automation can understand and perform operations on. Equally, if you have a table that's sitting in a data store, you can convert it back to a CSV, and then you can also download it if you require that function. Let's take a look at how you can access these variables and values from our automation flows. If we go to our activity that we have already in this project, we can see that it's doing some sort of basic browser automation. It's opening a browser, accepting a pop-up, extracting a table of data from the website, and then finally closing the browser. Now, it looks like in the open browser we've got a hard-coded URL that we're going to. Now, this may be subject to change, and instead of having to find everywhere where we use this value in all of our automation flows across the project, it might be better if we have it resting in one central place within a data store. So the question is, how do we use that data store URL in place of this hard-coded link? Well, let's start by removing the hard-coded one and pressing the variable button here. And then you'll notice at the top of our activity designer, we have these 4 tabs, the third of which is data stores. We can see then that we can select our data stores that sit within this project, and we can also see the variables that live within those particular data stores. We can see the URL variable that we created at the start. So if we click on it to bring it into this URL value here, we can see it's placed it as a blue chip. All data store data chips will appear as blue to signify that they come from a data store. And you can also tell it's from a data store by the little database icon that sits next to the key. Let's save this, and we can see the blue chip appears on the description as well, and we'll run this activity to just check everything still works, having replaced that value. So we can see it opened to that FTSE 100 page, and it's now completed the flow. If we want to change that, we can go to our data store where that URL exists, we can edit it, and let's say we want it to change to a different page, like the FTSE AIM 100. So we can alter the URL in here, we can rerun this activity, and we'll see now that it's opened to the FTSE AIM 100 instead. So it's picked up the latest value that we've updated the data store with, and it's reflected that in the automation. So that's how you can read values from a data store. But what about how you write values to a data store? Well, for that, we have an action called setDataStoreVariable that lives within the variable category or group in the Activity Designer. If we click on here, we can see setDataStoreVariable. And in this action, one of the inputs is the data store, so we need to specify which data store to write to. In this instance, we're going to write to our second data store. We need the name, which in this instance, what we'll do is we'll write the table of data that it extracts from the browser to the data store. So we'll give it a name, which will be FTSE data. And this time it's not text, it's a table. And we can just grab the result from the extract data from table action. So that can come at the end of our activity. So if we save that and then replay or rerun the activity, we can see it's closing the browser, and then according to the console, it successfully set the data store variable. Let's go to our data store to check. So if we click here, we can now see the FTSE data appears, and we can even preview all of that data, and we can see it's written 100 rows successfully. I can now go in and edit this if I need to, or as shown before, we can convert this to a CSV and download it manually. This has been an introduction to data stores.